Hi friends, I am here at my house. Hi friends, I'm here at my house. Most of you guys know I have COVID, it's the truth, but I'm doing really well. Hi Carolyn, I'm doing really well, I feel really good. I feel a little tired and a little achy and a little congested, but other than that I feel really good and I miss teaching yoga. So, hi John. So this will be about 60-minute soft flow restore class. I'll go back to my mat so you can see me. So 60-minute soft flow restore. If you want to listen to my playlist as you practice, then the link is on my Facebook, whatever, live thing. And then Instagram, just go to my Spotify. It's called Soft Flow. So thank you guys for joining me, and we'll go ahead and get started just in a comfortable seat. So find your comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. I'm gonna sit in easy pose with one ankle in front of the other. Sit up nice and tall. Lengthen through your spine, lengthen through the back of your neck. Maybe roll your shoulders out a couple times, or if it would feel good, maybe roll your head from side to side a couple times. And then eventually just find stillness. Arms can just rest by your sides, or if you'd like, bring your hands to your heart center, or maybe even one hand to your heart space, one hand to your belly. Close your eyes. And let's start with 3 great big deep breaths together. So next time you inhale, fill up as big as you can, hold at the top. See if you can sip in just a little bit more. And then exhale, open mouth, sigh, release. And again, just like that, inhale, fill up. Hold at the top. Sip in just a little bit more. Keep holding, but see if you can relax and soften around the breath. And then exhale, big sigh, let it go. Last time, so biggest inhale you've taken all day long. Hold in fullness. Any stress, any cares, any worries, any heaviness you're holding, when you're ready, just big, huge exhale, breathe it out, let it go. Seal your lips gently and start to cultivate your Ujjayi breath. So in and out through your nose with a gentle constriction in the back of your throat. See if you can feel every breath move all the way down the length of your torso, all the way down into your low belly, your low back, your side bodies. And then each time you exhale, take each exhale all the way to empty, all the way to the very, very bottom. At the end of your exhales, feel your belly button draw back towards your spine, pull in and up. Find that little bit of core engagement, that connection to your center. So take a moment, just simply sitting, breathing, and connecting to your breath. And then once you've kind of found your own internal rhythm, keep it going. Transition forward onto your hands and your knees, so tabletop position. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And then once you're here, just start to move in whatever way feels good to you. So intuitive, unstructured movement. It could be regular cat-cows, it could be hip circles. Maybe you want to sit back into child's pose for a moment and just rest there. So give yourself some time to just explore the movement of your body. Feel into your spine, your shoulders, your hips, your neck, your wrists. So you can get as creative as you'd like to. And I always like to just close my eyes for this first part. So I don't think so much about how I look. Just focus on what I feel inside, what feels good, what feels open, what feels a little stiff or tight or sore. And right now, almost everything feels stiff, so this is feeling really, really good. So just get into it. Move with your own breath and feel into your own body. And I'd say give yourself about 3 more rounds. And then when you do feel complete with this intuitive movement, let's meet back in downward facing dog. So no rush, but eventually, everybody find your way back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And once you are there, give yourself about 5 breaths or so to explore this familiar posture. So really tune in to your hands against the ground. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Think of gripping with the pads of your fingertips. Find strength through your shoulders. So try to keep your shoulders plugged into the socket so you're not hyperextending. And then from there, imagine you're trying to press your chest back. See if you can lift your hips really high. And I always say, imagine there's a rope or a string attached to your belly button, and it's pulling up and then it's tugging back. So you feel that lift coming from your center. If it feels good, pedal out your heels, walk out your dog. Just kind of shift your weight around. And all the while, your breath is there. It's moving, it's flowing, it's expanding and contracting. Take one more big inhale, and then as you exhale, slowly crawl your hands to the back of your yoga mat. Bring yourself into a forward fold. So all of the weight will eventually come into your feet. Feet hips width distance apart or maybe a little bit wider. And then keep your weight slightly forward so you're not rocking back into your heels. Grab opposite elbows for ragdoll pose. So let your torso just sway from side to side. Maybe bob a little bit up and down. And breathe up your spine and down the backs of your legs so you can even visualize your breath just moving through you. As you're ready, release your elbows. And then next time you breathe in, find a halfway lift. So extend and lengthen from the top of your head back to your hips. Exhale, bow and refold. Do that 2 more times. So inhale, halfway up. Top of your head reaches forward. Tops of your thighs press back. Sit bones broaden. Exhale, fold. And then last one, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. So create as much length as you possibly can from the top of your head all the way back to your sit bones. Exhale, fold. And then with a little bend in your knees, or maybe a big bend in your knees, roll very slowly up to stand, 1 vertebra at a time. Let your arms and your head hang heavy the entire way. And then at the very, very top, lift your head. Roll your shoulders back and down, palms open towards the front of your mat. So take a moment here, just close your eyes, go inward. If there is an intention that you'd like to set for your practice today, something that resonates for you, something you've been wanting to cultivate, take just a moment to complete your thoughts. So it can be as simple as 1 word, 1 sentence, a mantra, a feeling. Stay as you are, but breathe in as big as you can. Hold in fullness. Think of breathing your intention into all the little spaces inside your body. Hold. Exhale, open mouth side, and just think of sending it out into the universe. Ujjayi breath. Inhale, arms to the sky, stretch. Exhale, slow dive down. So lead with your heart, lengthen your spine, then fold in. With your inhalation, halfway lift. Get all the rounding out of your back. Exhale, bow, refold. Now root through your feet, reverse swan dive all the way to stand. Inhale, stretch your arms up, maybe gaze up. And exhale, hands to heart. And let's do 1 more half sun salute, just like that. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, follow your breath down. Ride your breath down ever so slowly. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, refold. Now from the press of your feet, reverse swan dive to stand. See if you can feel your back muscles hug around your spine as you rise. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, inhale, take your arms to the sky. And then grab your left wrist with your right hand and pull your upper body up and over to the right. Shift your hips over to the left. Breathe into your left side. If you want a little extra support, you can bring your right hand down to your right hip. Imagine you've got a block in between your inner thighs and you're squeezing that invisible block. Take one more deep breath here. Inhale, come back to center, switch your grip, and then exhale up and over in the opposite direction. Breathe down your right side body, more weight in your right foot. Hug your invisible block with your inner thighs, soften through your face, unclench your jaw. Try to make sure your right shoulder isn't hiked up towards your right ear, so keep pulling it down so your right shoulder blade draws down on your back body. If you want to bring your left hand to left hip, that's fine. And then where is your breath? Take one more round. Inhale, back to center, reach. Exhale, hands behind your back, interlace. So roll your shoulders back and down, squeeze shoulder blades towards your spine, and then if it's available to you, start to reach your hands back away from your body. Maybe create a little back bend so heart lifts up as knuckles reach down. Keep hugging your invisible block with your inner thighs. One more big inhale. Keep your hands clasped and exhale, slowly dive down, forward fold. With your fingers interlaced, halfway lift. So really hug back muscles around your spine as you lengthen. Exhale, release, fold. Keep your fingers interlaced. Take about 2 more rounds. See if you can let your head be heavy, let your neck relax. If it's helpful, bend your knees a little bit more. Lift your knuckles and lift your sit bones higher. Take one last big inhale. Exhale, hands to low back. Gently release your clasp. Let your arms hang. Maybe shake them out for just a moment. And then when you're ready, you're going to plant your hands and start to crawl forward, plank position. So wrists under shoulders and knees under hips. You can bring your wrists under shoulders and hips level with your shoulders, not knees under hips. You can bring your knees down if you'd like, but they'll be a little bit behind your hips. So choose what works best for you. Take one more big inhale and think of pressing the earth away. And then exhale, slow motion, one strong straight line, lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale, baby cobra. So lift your chest using back strength rather than arm strength. Roll your shoulders back and down. Squeeze shoulder blades towards your spine. Elbow tips point straight back behind you. Press your shoelaces down. Take one more big inhale. Maybe hover your hands just a millimeter above the ground. Exhale, let it go. Spider-Man Cobra. So hands come out wide. They're framing your mat. Lift to your fingertips. Elbows face the sky. Inhale, chest lifts. And then as you exhale, twist to the right and dip your left shoulder down. Inhale, come back to center. Heart lifts, belly tones. Exhale, twist left, right shoulder dips down. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, release. Give yourself one more back bend variation of your choice. So whatever would feel good to you. Baby cobra, full cobra, up dog, sphinx. You can take an extra couple breaths if you want. And then when you're ready, downward facing dog, take it back. Reconnect to your breath if you've lost it. All right, my friends, from your down dog, this time right leg to the sky. So reach and lengthen from your fingertips all the way up to your toes and really stretch. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, step your right foot to the top of your yoga mat. Bring your back knee to the ground gently. So you're in a low lunge position. If you need extra cushion, you can fold over the side of your mat. Hands come up to your front thigh. And then walk your front foot forward just a little bit and start to lean forward like you're sitting your right butt cheek on your right heel. Press your right heel down and energetically pull it back and up like you're trying to lift it towards your right butt cheek. So you have muscle energy in your legs. Tone through your low abdominals, lift through your heart. Stay here or arms to the sky. Anjaneyasana. Take about 3 to 5 deep breaths. Maybe close your eyes, maybe create a little bit of a back bend, so if there's a variation you want to take, you're welcome to. Just with each breath, see if you can gently allow your right hip to move closer to your right heel. Keep lifting through your heart, lengthening through your spine and your side bodies. Take one more big, huge breath. And then end of your exhale, bring your hands down to the inside of your right foot. Walk your right foot out to the width of your yoga mat and even a little bit forward. So right foot goes all the way out to the right and then slightly forward. And you're going to start to lower your upper body closer to the ground. Try not to lean to the left. So as soon as you lean to the left, you just kind of collapse the pose. So try to stay in your legs by pushing your weight over to the right. You can roll onto the baby toe edge of your right foot. You can spin your right toe slightly out to the right if you want to. And then just breathe nice and easy. Big deep breaths. See if you can feel every inhale move into your belly. Take every exhale all the way to emptiness. Exhale out your mouth at any time. You've got a couple more rounds. And then slowly ease your way back up to your hands. All right, you're going to keep your right foot at the edge of your mat. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. And you're going to step your left foot up to the outer left edge of your mat, so you're in this low squat position, malasana. Elbows to your inner thighs, hands to your heart. If you need to lift your heels, that's fine. If you need to take a higher, wider squat, then please feel free to adjust. So take a moment here, hands at your heart. Try to broaden through the front of your shoulders, through your collarbones, butt towards the ground, crown of your head towards the sky. Breathe down into your low belly, your low back, your hips, your pelvic floor. If you're like me and you kind of tend to rock onto the inner edges of your feet, see if you can balance that out, press into the outer edges. Maybe even see if you can pick up your toes and spread them. 2 more deep breaths. Good job. End of your next exhale. Fingertips to the ground, hips to the sky. Keep your feet wide at the width of your mat, but pivot your toes to face forward. So all 10 toes face directly forward. Inhale to a halfway lift. Keep your spine long, left fingertips on the ground under your chest, right arm to the sky, twist. Either keep both legs straight, or if you need to, bend your left knee. Option to take your left hand to the outside of your right ankle and wrap your right arm behind you if you'd like. So only if it feels like it will benefit you. Take about 2 more rounds. Use your inhales to lengthen from the top of your head back to your sit bones. Use your exhales to twist right from your belly button. End of your next exhale, slowly unwind and switch sides. So right fingertips on the ground under your heart, left arm reaches up. And big deep breaths. You can take your left arm behind your back if you want to. Grab hold of your left ankle with your right hand if you want. Last couple rounds here. And then end of your next exhale, unwind. Ragdoll pose one more time. So just for a moment, grab opposite elbows, let your torso sway, your bob. Inhale, halfway lift. So realign your spine one more time. And exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, plank or modified plank. Inhale at the top. Exhale, strong belly, lower down. Inhale, baby cobra. Option to hover your hands above the ground, elbow tips point straight back. Exhale, release. Spider-Man cobra. So hands out wide, lift to your fingertips, elbows face the sky. Inhale to lift. Exhale, let it go. One more back bend variation. This one is your choice. Feel free to take an extra breath or two if you want. And then downward facing dog when you're ready. I'm actually feeling so much better as I'm practicing. This feels so good, so thank you for joining me. Thank you for letting me have this practice with you. All right, from down dog, inhale, take your left leg to the sky. Spread your toes, find lots of length and strength through your left leg. Press the ground away, take one more big inhale. Exhale, use your core, step your left foot forward. Bring your back knee down gently, so low lunge position. Hands up to your front thigh. Walk your front foot forward just a little bit, and then try to lean forward like you want to sit your left butt cheek on your left heel. Don't let your right hip open to the right, so it's going to want to keep pointing your right hip forward. Press your left heel down and energetically pull it back. Draw your belly button in and up, lift through your heart. Option to take your arms to the sky. And big deep breaths right here. Soften through your face, unclench your jaw, unfurrow your brow. If there's a variation you want to take, you're welcome to, so maybe you add a little back bend. Keep allowing your hips to move towards your left heel. Keep your hips nice and square. Let's take 2 more rounds together. So huge inhales, huge exhales, all the way to emptiness. Good job, you guys. End of your next exhale. Hands come down. Bring your hands to the inside of your left foot. Walk your left foot out to the width of your mat and a little bit forward. So you're going to start to lower your upper body closer to the earth, but try not to lean over to the right. So as soon as you lean to the right, it's just collapsed. I could hold this all day long. I could sleep like this. Maybe not sleep like that. But you want to push your weight over to the left and slightly forward. You can spin your left toes out to the left or even roll onto the outer edge of your left foot. Breathe slow, steady, deep Ujjayi breaths. If you are rolling onto the outer edge of your left foot, try to keep your ankle really, really strong. Nice job, you guys. About 2 or 3 more rounds here. You can exhale out your mouth anytime. All right, one last big breath. And then lift back up onto your hands. Lift your back knee. You're going to keep your left foot where it's at and step your right foot to the outer right edge of your mat all the way up at the top. So back into our low squat malasana. Toes point out, heels in, hands to your heart. You can stay here and just breathe, or this time I'm going to add a twist. So right arm to the inside of your right leg, reach your right hand out to the side, and then left arm to the sky. Maybe gaze up at your left fingertips. Press your right arm into your leg and your leg back into your arm. Use that as leverage to twist a little bit more. If you want to take the half bind or the full bind, you're welcome to. One last round. And then switch sides. So left arm inside of left leg. Press arm into leg, leg back into arm, right arm to the sky. Perhaps gaze up at your right hand. Perhaps wrap your right arm behind you for the half or the full bind. One last big breath. And then very end of your exhale, unwind. Fingertips to the earth, hips to the sky. Heel toe your feet in so they're hips width distance apart. All 10 toes face forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Root through your feet. Rise all the way up to stand. Inhale, stretch your arms up, maybe gaze up. Exhale, hands to your heart. All right, inhale, reach. And then exhale, hands behind your back, this time as if you're about to put them into your back pockets. So either fingertips face down, or you can make fists or fingers wrap around your waist, thumbs face in. Roll your shoulders back and down. Point your elbows straight back behind you. Hug your invisible block with your inner thighs. Next time you breathe in, start to lift your chest up towards your chin, and then begin to take your throat back. Press your hands forward into your hips, but press your hips back into your hands, so your low abdominal tones and your butt tones. Keep squeezing your invisible block. Keep breathing all the way down into your belly. Keep the sides of your neck strong and engaged. Take one more deep breath. Lift and open. Lead with your heart. Inhale, back up. Exhale, bend your knees. Bring your hands to the tops of your thighs. You might bring your feet out just a little bit wider. Take some standing cat-cows. So inhale to arch and exhale to round. I'm going to hold in that rounded position for a little bit longer and kind of move my hips and my shoulders from side to side. So you're welcome to explore in any way that feels good to you. So think of just neutralizing your spine after that great big back bend. And reconnect to your breath if you've lost it. And when you feel complete here, all the way down into a forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back to plank. Come to your knees if you'd like. Inhale at the top. Exhale, slowly lower. This time, stay put on your belly. We're going to take shoulder pigeon. So reach your right arm straight out to the right. Make sure your hand is level with your shoulder or even slightly above it. You might keep a little bend in your elbow. And then press your palm firmly into the ground. Roll up onto your right side body. So right leg stays straight, left knee bends, sole of your left foot comes down behind you. If you want to take a different variation, that's fine. So if you're taking care of your low back, fetal position with your legs might be really nice. If you want more, maybe you add a quad stretch or hand to big toe pose. So you can take your left peace fingers to your left big toe, extend your left leg up. We're going to be here for about 5 to 7 more breaths. So just allow yourself with each breath to settle more, to relax, to give in. Soften through your face, unclench your jaw. See if you can take bigger, longer, smoother breaths. Good job, you guys. Last couple rounds. And then slowly roll back onto your belly. Switch to the other side, no rush. So maybe you take a moment, just resting in the middle, feeling the difference between your right shoulder and your left shoulder. And then eventually your left arm reaches out to the left, palm face down, fingers spread wide. Make sure your hand is even with or a little bit higher than your shoulder. and then roll over onto your left side. Choose whatever variation you would like. So maybe fetal position with your legs, maybe hand to big toe, maybe that quad stretch, up to you completely. And just breathe slow and steady. Soften your face, unclench your jaw. Make sure your neck is nice and relaxed. Good job, you guys. Take about 3 or 4 more rounds on this side. So rather than tuning out, tune in. What can you notice? What can you feel? What can you observe? Exhale out your mouth if you want to. And then slowly ease your way back to your belly. Rest your forehead down. Bring your hands to your low back and interlace your fingers. Before you lift anything else up, just think of lifting your shoulders up away from the ground. Squeeze shoulder blades towards your spine. Squeeze your back muscles around your spine. If this feels like enough, you can stay here. Otherwise, exhale all your air out. And then next time you inhale, lift everything up. Lift, lift, lift. Back of your neck is nice and long. Hug in with your inner thighs. Breathe down into your belly. Spread through your toes. One last big breath. End of your exhale, let it go. Good job. Rest your head to either side and just windshield wiper your shins for a moment. Breathe down into your low back. All right, my friends. Take it back to downward facing dog, however you want to get there. Okay, from your dog pose, inhale your right leg high. And exhale this time, open up your right hip. So bend your right knee, squeeze your outer right butt cheek. Try not to collapse into your left hand, your left shoulder, or your left hip. See if you can lift your right knee a little bit higher, flex through your right toes. One more big breath here. And then next time you inhale, just re-extend your right leg, square off your right hip. Exhale, pigeon pose. So right shin, top of your mat, set your body down gently. You want your right knee a little bit wider than your right hip. And then think of pulling your right hip back, your left hip forward, so you're hugging towards midline. And once you've got that, bow forward, humble pigeon. So humble pigeon. Slowly bow and then just settle in. Every single breath you take, see if you can relax and soften just a little bit more. My iPad battery is low, so I'm going to see if I can plug it in and keep recording. Keep breathing. Stay present with each breath. And stay present with sensation, with what's going on inside. Good job, you guys. If you're watching on my iPad, I had to change the view a little bit so I could plug it in. Hopefully it doesn't bother you too much. You can still hear me. So give yourself a few more rounds, and with each breath, just allow yourself to sink deeper, to melt, to let go. Guess I should say, if you're watching me on Instagram, not on my iPad, you don't know what you're watching me on. Notice, where are you holding tension? So where are you resisting, trying to hold yourself back or hold yourself up, and just allow yourself to soften, to release. Maybe visualize your breath moving down into your outer right hip. Take your last 3 rounds. You can exhale out your mouth anytime. And then slowly begin to lift your upper body. Nice and easy. Sit over onto your right butt cheek and swing your left leg around. So both legs out in front of you for a moment. You can lean back on your hands, give your legs a nice little shake out. And then feet on the ground with your knees bent. Bring your feet mat width distance apart. Hands behind you. Roll your shoulders back and down, lift through your chest. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, let your knees fall over to the right. Inhale back to center. And exhale, knees fall over to the left. Inhale back to center. Go back and forth with your own breath a few more times, a couple more times. Just feel that mobility in your hips, maybe up into your low back, through your pelvis. Good job, you guys. And then no rush, but next time your knees fall to the left, keep them there. So knees go left, and then you're gonna turn around to face towards the back of your yoga mat. So you might need to kind of scoot forward towards the front of your mat if you want to have extra space behind you. You might need to adjust your hips a little bit. So hands facing towards the back of your mat, fingertips facing towards the back of your mat. Take a big inhale, lengthen your spine, telescope your ribs. Exhale, slowly crawl your hands forward and lower your upper body towards the ground. So you might come down to your forearms, you might bring your forehead down. If you can rest your torso comfortably, then you can even reach your arms back and turn your palms to face up if that feels beneficial, if it feels good and like it's serving you. So just a nice little twist here. Breathe down the length of your torso, and with each exhale, allow yourself to soften a little bit more. Rather than checking out here, check in with your body, check in with this moment, check in with yourself. So rather than thinking about this practice as, oh, it's a time that I get to think about everything I have to do later, think of this practice as a time when you get to be completely present and intimate with you. So noticing your breath, noticing your body, noticing your emotions, noticing your thoughts without necessarily entertaining them or reacting to them. Just simply being with yourself. And take about 3 or 4 more breaths. Slow and steady. You can exhale out your mouth anytime. End of your next exhale, start to lift your upper body and unwind your torso so you're facing towards the front of your mat again. And we're going to meet back in down dog. You can get there however you want. An option, only if you want to take it. Boat pose, maybe 2 or 3 breaths if you want a little bit of core. And then from here, you'll cross your ankles, rock forward, hands and knees. You can take it straight back to down dog, or you can take a vinyasa. Whatever works best for you. Once you're back in your down dog, just take a moment to feel into it, to stretch into it. So lengthen through your spine, lengthen through the backs of your legs. Next time you inhale, left leg to the sky. Open up your left hip, so bend your left knee, squeeze your outer left butt cheek, flex your left toes. Keep your shoulders nice and square, your hands rooted, and your right inner thigh hugs toward midline. Take one more full round of breath. See if you can lift your left knee a little higher. And then next time you inhale, re-extend your left leg, square off your hips. Exhale, pigeon pose, so left shin top of your mat. Set your body down gently. So you want your left knee a little bit wider than your left hip. Pull your left hip back, your right hip forward. And then as you're ready, just slowly bow, humble pigeon. If you're just joining me on Instagram, sorry the view's so bad. My battery was gonna die, so I had to plug it in, and it's a little bit far away. But you can still hear me, I hope. So big deep breaths down into your outer left hip, and then just settle with your exhales, relax and soften with each exhalation. I like to visualize sometimes my breath as a bright white light. So as I breathe in, it flows through the crown of my head all the way down into my outer left hip and kind of swirls around, softens the muscles, the tissue there. And then as I exhale, it washes back over my body and flows back out the crown of my head. So that's just what works for me. If there's something that resonates for you or makes more sense to you, use it. Visualizations can be really, really powerful. And we'll be here for about 5 to 7 more rounds, so allow yourself to just truly be here. You can exhale out your mouth at any time. And take one last big deep breath. And then slowly start to lift your upper body. Ease your way over onto your left butt cheek and then swing your right leg around. Both legs out in front of you. You can lean back on your hands. Give your legs just a nice gentle shake out. And then keep your hands behind you. Bend your knees, soles of your feet to the ground. Bring your feet out to the width of your mat. Roll your shoulders back and down. Lift through your chest. Inhale here. Then exhale. Let your knees fall to either side. Inhale. Bring them back to center. And exhale over to the other side. Take a few more rounds. Sometimes as my knees move to one side, I like to turn my upper body to the opposite side. So you can kind of get your torso involved if you want. And just feel into your hips, your pelvis, your groin, maybe your low back. And then this time, next time your knees fall to the right, that's where they're going to stay. So next time your knees fall to the right, keep them there. You don't have to rush to get there. Turn your upper body to face towards the back of your mat. So you're turning your upper body to the right and then back. If you want to scoot towards the front edge of your mat a little bit, then you can, so you have plenty of space on your mat behind you. And then take an inhale to lengthen, so spine is nice and long. Keep lengthening, keep twisting as you slowly lower down. Eventually, forearms to the ground, forehead to the ground, or like I said before, maybe you can even bring your entire torso down and let your arms fall back behind you, palms face up. And then can you feel each breath, the rise and the fall, the expansion and the contraction? Keep breathing, and with each breath, just melt and settle a little bit more. Take about 3, 4, 5 more rounds. Exhale out your mouth if you want to. And then slowly, nice and easy, begin to lift your upper body. Unwind, so you're again facing forward towards the top of your mat. Take your legs out in front of you. Give them a nice little shake out if that calls to you. And then we're going to take just a seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. So legs extended, take your inner thighs, spiral them down and out. So like you're moving your butt out of the way, out to the sides. And then flex your toes back, press down through your heels. Think of pressing your heels down and then even trying to pull your heels back towards your body so you get a little bend in the backs of your legs. Big inhale, reach your arms up. And then lead with your heart. Exhale, dive forward and down. Hands grab wherever they can reach. Let your neck relax. Let your head hang. Think of reaching your butt back, lengthening through your low spine. Then you can allow your upper back to round. Imagine you're trying to spiral your inner thighs down towards the ground. If you want to make it a little more active, See if you can get the front of your thighs to engage. So you can make it more passive, more restorative, or a little more active. It's up to you. And wherever you choose to go with it, breath is there. Take about 3 to 5 more rounds. Soften your face, your jaw. Soften your energetic body. So what would that feel like to soften energetically? One last round. And then at the very end of your exhale, slow as you can, roll all the way back up. Head comes up very, very last. All right, we're gonna do one more forward fold before we go down onto our backs. So I'm going to turn to face the long side of my mat. You can or you don't have to. We're gonna do a wide-legged straddle. So, wide-legged straddle position. If you're at home and you have a bolster or a blanket and you wanna sit your hips up on top of it, that's fine. So, legs out to the sides, flex your toes back. You want your toes facing straight up. If it's really hard for you to sit up tall here, then your pose is just simply sitting up tall, closing your eyes and breathing. If you want to take it to the next step, arms reach up, big inhale, and then lead with your heart, dive forward and down. When you've gone as far as you can with that length, hands come down, upper back can round, neck can relax. And again, you can make it a little more passive, a little more restorative. Just kind of melt into it, or see if you can really engage through the fronts of your thighs. And as you do that, imagine you're trying to press the backs of your thighs down. Big breaths. Reach your butt back, lengthen through your low spine, breathe into your belly. Last 3 rounds here. Big breath. So really feel your torso expand each time you breathe in. Contract each time you breathe out. And see if you can even start to feel those little pauses at the top of the inhale, at the bottom of the exhale. Nice work, you guys. Last round. And then at the very end of your exhale, you're just going to roll it up. 1 vertebra at a time. Head comes up very last. And if you turn to face the long side of your mat, turn again to face forward. Should feel really nice to bring your legs together. Maybe give them a nice little shake out if you want one last dose of core. Legs forward, arms forward, hollow out your belly. And try not to lift your legs very, very slowly lower down 1 vertebra at a time. If you want to use your arms to modify, that's fine. Job. And then once you're down on your spine, full body stretch. So arms long, legs long, pull yourself apart. Big inhale, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And exhale, draw your knees in towards your chest or your belly. And gently rock from side to side. You can wrap your hands around the fronts of your shins or the backs of your thighs. Just allow from here both of your knees to fall over to the right. Left arm reaches out to the left, gaze over your left shoulder. Maybe you take your right hand to the outside of your left thigh and breathe. One more round on this side. End of your exhale, come back to center. Give your knees a big squeeze. So wrap your arms around the fronts of your shins and even lift your head up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Nose in between your knees. Squeeze and release. Let your knees fall to the left. Right arm reaches out to the right. Gaze up or over your right shoulder. Send your breath down into your belly. Let the ground hold more and more of your weight with every breath you take. And then when you feel pretty even on both sides, come back to center and find a happy baby pose. So soles of your feet face the sky. Grab hold of your feet if you can. If that's too much, ankles, shins, or just the backs of your thighs, perfect. You can kind of rock from side to side. Maybe you want to straighten one leg and then the other, even both at the same time. Maybe you want to bring your feet together, pull your feet towards your chest, press your knees away. That's one of my favorite stretches at the end of class, just kind of traction out the spine, open up the hips. And then you guys, it goes so fast. As you're ready, start settling into your final resting pose, your Shavasana. So that can be the traditional corpse pose, or that can be any other position that just allows you to relax, to soften. If you're in your house and you want to grab a pillow or a blanket and just wrap yourself up in it, then please feel free to take your time to get into your final relaxation. So as you settle in, I have a reading for you. And of course, it is by Jeff Foster, my favorite. This is called Perfectly Unfinished. He says, perhaps your imperfections are not really imperfections, and they are not yours at all. Perhaps they are the last remnants of a greater perfection, misunderstood by mind and forgotten long ago. Come out of the story of poor me and discover the riches in the smallest of things. A single breath, a glance from a friend, an autumn breeze. Celebrate the unwanted, the unloved stranger, the perfect mistake. Collapse into wonderful unknowing. Be perfectly unfinished at last. So I try to remember that this life is just a journey and it's just truly for our experience. We're not trying to get anywhere or arrive anywhere. We're simply living breath by breath, moment by moment. So give yourself these last few moments to just relax, to take it all in, to feel yourself, feel the aliveness within yourself. Let your breath become effortless and let your body just breathe you. And I will bring you out of Shavasana in about 5 minutes. If you want to turn this off and just take Shavasana for 20 minutes, or if you need to leave right now, then you're welcome to do so. If you're staying with me, go ahead and just drift off into your Shavasana, and I will wake you up shortly. Enjoy. deep breath in. And let it go. And slowly start to bring gentle movements back into your body. As you're ready, roll to either side, fetal position. Take a breath or two there. And using the strength in your arms, ease your way up into a seat. Eyes closed, so right back where we started. Sit up nice and tall. Hands gathered at heart center. Bow your head to your own heart. Just take one last moment to touch back on the intention you set at the very beginning of class. Think of setting it inside of your heart and just sealing it, holding it there. Thank you, you guys, so very much for taking time out of your day to join me, to practice with me, to come onto your mat, and to go deeper into yourself. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you, friends. Nicole, hi. I love you guys. If you want more of these while I'm quarantined, then let me know, because I really enjoyed doing this, and it's good to see some of your guys's, I guess I'm not seeing your faces, but your names. And yeah, I miss teaching and I miss all of you. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.